And welcome! Hey there folks, welcome along to the Helium Down Under channel. If this is your first time here watching one of our videos, if I could ask you to hit that subscribe button, and at any time through the presentation, if you're seeing great value, if you could hit the thumbs up button just so that we know that we're providing information that you're finding value in. It also helps the YouTube algorithm to prioritize us up the queue so that hopefully more people will actually get to share the message. All right, so this channel is focused all about helium, the IoT, with a strong focus on the AU915 frequency band that is, of course, located down under, primarily in Australia and New Zealand. So that's why I've got the funny accent. I'm over here in Australia, located in Brisbane, the capital city of Queensland. Now, this video here is all about basically bringing us up to date as of today. Today's date is, or the day is Saturday, and it is the 14th of August, 2021. Now, when I first looked at helium about 3 months ago, we were sitting at just over 25,000 hotspots, and today we're sitting somewhere around 110,000, and that's only a couple of months later. So guys, this market is moving incredibly fast. For those of us down here in Australia and New Zealand, we definitely do feel like we've been left behind, and we have been crying out for options. Now, I have covered 2 options over the last couple of weeks, and this video is all about trying to bring us up to date as of today with what we actually have available to us. So let's get into it. Okay, so this presentation, as I say, is all about the AU915, all of the options that we have available to us. Now, over the last couple of weeks, I have actually put out a number of clips relevant to the 2 providers that we'll be focusing on today. You can go back and look at the specifics. Today is all about trying to get a quick video out the door so it brings us up to date so we know where we stand right now, because there have been some pretty significant changes just in the last 24 to 48 hours. Now, guys, I've been putting out content lately. I can tell you, I've actually had comments saying the videos are too long. So guys, I'm going to really be trying hard to actually shorten them down. But here's what I can tell you is that I generally spend about 2 to 3 hours producing a 20 to 30 minute video. By the time you record it, re-record it, and re-record it again, and then of course edit it, I throw it up on YouTube, and the first thing that somebody does is ask me a question that's covered multiple times in the video. So guys, if I could ask you to make sure you watch the entire length of the video, and if there's any content, any questions that you've got, I'm only too happy to try and address those. Just whack the questions in a comment, and I will get to them, or somebody will get to them very soon to help you out with that answer. So what are our 2 options? Well, as I've discussed in previous videos, we've got the Sensecap M1 and we've got Linxdot. Now, if you're watching this video, the probability is that you've been on our Facebook group lately. You've maybe been watching the YouTube clips that other YouTube creators have been putting out. Maybe you've been in Discord, and there's a little bit of confusion in the network. What's available to us? Where do I get it from? When is it available? How many can purchase? Who's going to get them? All these questions right now flying through Discord and YouTube at an alarming rate, and I'm trying my best to keep up with them, but I find that I'm answering the same question multiple times. So hopefully I'm going to address as many as I can in this video. All right, so let's start with option number 1, which is Sensecap, the M1 LoRaWAN indoor gateway antenna, gateway hotspot. It was actually cleared by the MOC a couple of weeks ago, the Manufacturing Oversight Committee, and it was released onto the US and the European market a couple of weeks ago now. We've been waiting eagerly for it down here in Australia. We haven't been able to get our hands on it because they didn't have the certification. Do they have the RCM certification right now? And the great answer is yes, that they do. And it's not something that they've applied for and that they feel they're going to get. It's something they actually have in their hands right now. And this came out as of yesterday. They actually received that certification. And there we go. I can only assume that there must be multiple models of the Sensecap. That's Sensecap. That's why we actually have 2 different certifications there. But there you see it in yellow down the bottom. So RCM certification is now held by the Sensecap company. And of course, Sensecap is actually distributed by the company Seed. So of course, the next question is if they're actually cleared to sell them, well, where do I purchase them from? Now, over here on the right-hand side, you'll see that this is the Seed option, because there are 2 separate options here. There is you can purchase them through Seed, or at least you can wait to purchase them through Seed, or you can purchase them through a brand new distributor, which has come online here in Australia, which is called the IoT Store. Let's have a look at these. Okay, so Seed Studio. Right now, you cannot actually purchase through Seed Studio in Australia at the time of recording this video, because right now, in order to purchase an AU915 model of the Sensecap M1, you need to have a coupon. And right now, there is no coupon available for the AU915. I don't know when or even if those coupons are going to become available, guys. I have no transparency here whatsoever when it comes to Seed. Many of you may have actually been in the Discord channel and maybe even know more information than what I do. But right now, all I can tell you is, as of this morning, I actually tried to go through the process and actually order a hotspot. And you can see over here that it says, no, you don't have a coupon. We don't ship to Australia yet. So basically, wait your turn. Now, what I can tell you is that through the Discord and through Facebook, I have seen some members. And remembering, guys, I was trying to say before, I want transparency. I want to make sure that I validate and I basically give you anything that I can give you that may either support you making a purchase or may in fact discourage you from making a purchase. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just going to give you the facts. Some people have actually ordered US 915 through friends actually in the US. Okay, they've gone to the website. They've purchased a US 915 because the thing is, as I understand, is that the US 915 M1 hotspot will transfer to the AU915 once it's actually assigned to our network down here, and it does that automatically from what I understand. But at this time, guys, here's the thing: it has not been proven, so we can't say absolutely certain. So there is an element of risk there. If you want to get in quick and you want to purchase through Seed, guys, go right ahead. Okay, I'll tell you, some people have done this. They've got friends in the States. They place an order, they ship it to their friends in the US. Their friends in the US ship it to Australia. And, well, hey presto, you've got a unit here in Australia that hopefully, if what we understand is correct, it will transfer to the AU915 frequency band. There is at least one one Sensecap unit that is on the network right now down in Melbourne. Not entirely sure how they got it, but it's down there. The one thing also to note, in addition, well, actually a few things to note, if you are going to purchase through friends in the US, is that it will come with US power packs, power points, and plugs, etc. So you're not going to be able to take it out of the box, plug it into the wall, and start creating HNT. You're probably going to need to go and get a 240 power supply, because it's going to actually have, I think it's a 110, whatever they use in the US. It'll have the wrong plug on it. You won't be able to use it. You'll need to go and purchase that. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is the fact that if you have any warranty claims for your helium hotspot, that is your Sensecap helium hotspot, you're going to have to send it back to your friend in the US, who will then in turn have to send it to the company, because you didn't purchase the hotspot through an Australian address. You purchased it through a US address. So guys, there are some issues. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying that there are issues with it, and I may be totally wrong with that. So guys, there we go. So Seed Studio, you cannot purchase at the time of recording through this video. But let's look at option number two. Option number two is the IoT store, which is located here down under in Western Australia. Now, guys, the IoT store is actually not shipping from stock. Whereas if you purchase Seed, quite often you're purchasing from stock that they have there. Well, right now this stock does not sit in Western Australia. It sits in the US. It obviously needs to be shipped from the US to Australia before it can be sold. And as far as which batch is coming to Australia, it's not solid information, guys. This is really dynamic. This all came to light about 2 or 3 days ago, and I've been frantically trying to reach out to the manager, the owner of IoT, to see if I could get some specifics so that I can give you the information so you can make an informed decision based on fact, or at least probability, rather than very broad assumptions because it's on a website. So here's what we can tell you is that the IoT store are a distributor of Seed. They are not a distributor of Sensecap. So there has been confusion on the Discord and a little bit of disharmony with people saying, no, they've got to be bogus because Sensecap said that they're not a distributor. That's right. They're not a distributor of Sensecap. They're a distributor of Seed. That's why Sensecap have probably, this is all my opinion here, is probably said that they are not a registered distributor, because they're not. They're a distributor of Seed. Now, the IoT store is definitely not some fly-by-night website that's been thrown up. Many of those sites that we've probably seen across Europe and America that were very much bogus, essentially looking to try and steal your money. Guys, the IoT store has been around for years, and they are probably Australia's biggest retail provider of IoT technology. So they're not a fly-by-night scheme. They're definitely not a scam website. They are 100% legit, and I can promise you that based on a little bit of research and talking to a few people that have purchased. And of course, I have also spoken to, after a day or so of trying to get hold of them, I have now literally spoken to Sam, who is the owner and manager of the IoT store. I haven't spoken to him just once. I've spoken to him 3 times now, with trying to hit him with as many questions and get as much clarification as I can. I'm going to tell you right now that Sam is not 100% clear on what he can get, when it will arrive, which batch number it's in either, because just like we have difficulty when we're trying to deal with these US vendors, Sam is just like us. Yes, he's a distributor, but that doesn't give him the red phone to the manager of Seed. So guys, recognize that right now there is a strong possibility that these will get here in quantity on a certain date, but there is no rock solid confirmation at this point. So as Sam has shared with me that he has placed an order for 500 units from the Seed store in the US, from the Seed distributor. He has requested the ability to purchase more units as required. He didn't want to purchase too many up front, because even though he did believe that there was going to be a strong need for these units in Australia, he couldn't confirm that. So right now he has got an order for 500 units that are placed. However, he does not know exactly which batch they are coming from. He is currently estimating late September, which is the estimate that he has received from Seed. But we've seen how rapidly units have been flying out the door from Seed. For those of you who have been in Discord, you'll have seen the feeding frenzy that there has been going on in there. Recognize that there is nothing that is written in stone here, guys. We believe it's going to be September. We hope it's going to be September, but we've got to be prepared for a little bit of give here and this. Maybe they might arrive sooner, but they may also arrive later. We can't be absolutely certain. They're not in country right now. The listed price on the IoT store, which is $769 Australian, which is great. We don't have to convert any currency. It's in our dollars over here. Sorry, New Zealand, you're going to still have to do a conversion, but that does not include GST, nor does it include shipping to your door wherever it's actually being shipped to. So just be aware there will be additional costs on top of that, including GST. Obviously, if you're in Australia, that's going to be an additional $80 on top of that, plus shipping, which I'm not entirely sure what that's going to be. Now, if you are comparing IoT Store directly to Seed, assuming that you could purchase from Seed, the prices are pretty comparable. If you purchase straight from Seed, the price is cheaper, but of course there is always that issue that you may get hit up for duty or some form of taxes, in which case then it's probably going to be more expensive than what it is if you purchase through the IoT Store. Guys, I can't promise you either way what is going to happen, which is the best way to go. I have already purchased 1 unit from Sam through Seed. I placed my order a few days ago. I know that there are many other members on our Facebook community who basically couldn't wait. They've obviously missed out once before through other vendors, so they wanted to strike while the iron's hot. They've already placed their orders. How many have been ordered? I've got no idea. I'm going to guess it's probably about 100 that have been ordered so far, based on the messages that I have seen floating around the various social media channels, but I don't know for certain. Let's look at option number 2, which is Linkstart. Linkstart is also obviously a hotspot that I've been talking about for the last month or so. And guys, this has been a journey here. I had really hoped that we would have hotspots pretty much in our hands over the next week or two. But, unfortunately, guys, it's really dynamic. And some of the expectations that Linkstart had as far as certification go just didn't sort of come around. But funny enough, the certification issues. So let's have a look at this here. What does Eric say right now in Discord? Further update to the AU RCM certification. I was just told not to promise anything in terms of when orders for AU will be open. Okay, guys. Now, this came out on the 8th. So this is like a week ago now that he made this statement and pinned it in there. In fact, it's over a week ago. But there were supply issues with the power supply. Before, the unit could be put through its certification paces in order to be signed off, it needed to have Australian power supplies, cords, and plugs. So it was a finished product ready to come to Australia. And unfortunately, what was unexpected is that when Linkstart went searching for those units, is they could not purchase them from anybody in the quantities that they needed to satisfy our needs. So consequently, there was a bit of a delay. I was communicating backwards and forwards with Adrian right now, as it stands today. Well, this is based upon the email that I received from Adrian yesterday, is that the certification documents have been received from their certifier. So now their certifier has said, yes, good to go. Those documents need to be passed on to the Australian Communications Media Authority, or the ACMA, who it is that actually issues the RCM certification. Right now, as I understand, the documentation is sitting with them, which is obviously, I'm assuming, in Canberra or Sydney perhaps, wherever it is in Australia. The Linkstart documentation is sitting with them, awaiting for their attention. Linkstart are expecting that certification process will move very quickly, and they're expecting probably by middle of next week that they will have the RCM. But guys, we have been stung here a couple of times already. So, and I have already been called out with people saying that I've made claims that I never actually really made. Everything is always the best estimate that we've got with information at hand. So guys, they do not have RCM right now. The RCM will come as soon as it comes. The certification process is finished, but it has not been signed off by the ACMA. So will it be here in 2 days' time? Who knows? Let's hope that it is, but let's prepare for the fact that there is an issue here in Australia. I mean, Canberra's just gone into some form of lockdown, so perhaps because of COVID. If, in fact, that's where the ACMA is, potentially there is going to be a hold-up because of our lockdown processes here in Australia. But let's not go down that one. Let's hope for the best. Assuming that the RCM certification does come through, where and when can I buy? Now, they are only available to AU915 via the email invitation to purchase. Anybody that had, in fact, registered their email address with Linkstart up until potentially a couple of days ago have now probably received an invitation to purchase. But this is one of the questions that I have answered at least 50 times over the last couple of weeks, and I can understand why. They send an invitation to say, yes, you can purchase, but of course, in the print there, it says Australia can't purchase. Most people, of course, don't read that, or they're hoping that they can circumnavigate it, just like I thought I was going to be able to do. But when you go to the website, there is no option to choose Australia, because even though we've received an invitation to purchase, that went out to the entire mailing list, not just to Australia. So they cannot ship to us. How will they notify us that it's time to ship? I believe, based on the communication that I've received from Adrian, he mentioned something about we will notify you via email. I'm assuming that means there is going to be a special AU915 invitation email that will go out, and it will go out basically as soon as they have the RCM in their hand. But that is not confirmed at this point. So when will we receive that? I don't know. What I can tell you is that it is going to be distributed in batches, assuming that the Australian rollout continues in the same method that has been discussed for the last couple of weeks. So there will be a batch 1, which will have approximately 150 units. There is going to be a limit of 1 per person. Whilst we can all be selfish and think about ourselves and say, oh, well, I want multiple units because I want to build a network and I don't want to be a lone wolf. Guys, I think the company is working from a principle of more units in more hands quickly, and that's the avenue that they will likely go down. So limit of 1. Estimated time of delivery here in Australia. Now, I have pushed this out. They've said mid-September. I've said the end of September. So we're looking at some point in September is when batch 1 is to be the estimated time of delivery. That's assuming no holdups on the RCM being issued from Canberra. They will be shipped direct from the UK. They are being assembled in the UK. The likelihood is, and the high probability is, that they are almost assembled now, because this has been a process over the last couple of weeks. They were being assembled from existing stock levels in the UK, so it was going to be a very quick turnaround, out the door, in people's hands. Batch number 2, approximately 750 units have been reserved for the AU915 band. There will be a limit of 3 per person. So now, and in fact, if you're in batch 1, you will have the option, as I understand it, of also purchasing from batch 2. So if you're lucky enough to be a very early adopter, then you potentially may end up with 4 by the time the batch 2 rollout has actually has been finalized. But I can't confirm that because all of this is somewhat a speculation at this point. Estimated time of delivery, once again, they are stating November. I have said the 30th of November just to give me an end date so I don't get caught in the middle. Batch number 3. Now, there is a batch number 3 which has been released to the UK, or rather to the UK and the US. Those in Discord will have seen that. What I am making an assumption here based upon what I am reading from Adrian's emails is that batch 3 may be very dynamic and loose, that there is no specific number assigned for any market, and there will be no limits to order them. That's what I'm taking out of the very loose communications that I'm getting here. So batch 3 could be completely different to what I have just said. But the estimated time of delivery is December. That's what's currently showing on the website right now. If you were to go in, everybody's received an email now, I would guess, go in there, put a US, say you want to purchase US. You won't be able to, but put it in there and you will find that at the base it will say estimated time of delivery is December. So that's what we're looking at. December is the estimated time of delivery for batch number 3. Listed price, something to be aware of. The listed price does include shipping, which is awesome, but it does not include any duty or taxes. So if you are ordering lots of one, there is a chance, not a guarantee, but there is a chance that you will slide under the duty radar of the Australian Customs and you may not pay any additional costs on top of what you've paid in the UK. If, however, you are purchasing 2 or more, there's an increased probability that you will be hit for duty and taxes here in Australia. So be aware that that's something you're going to have to deal with. So now, as far as discount codes, now, of course, if you've been surfing out there on the interweb of Discord, on Facebook, on YouTube, you've probably seen a multitude of discount codes for all of the Helium hotspots, including Linxdot and including Sensecap. Now, guys, go right ahead. You've already got a discount code. Go for it. Fill your boots. Use it. I have already requested a discount code so that we can basically give a little bit back to our Australian and New Zealand colleagues down here. At this point, only Linkstart have actually got back to me with a code, and that code is HDUTEAM, or Helium Down Under Team. It will get you at approximately a 3% discount. Now, there is also a couple of percent kickback back to myself. But guys, my objective here is obviously not to run these YouTube channels to make $1 million. That's not going to happen. Anything that I make, I plan on giving back to our community through different competitions and the likes. If I don't get commissions, I can't do that. I'd love to do it. I love you all, but not that much. So if you use my promo code, I'm going to get a small kickback. That means I can support you even additionally more with promos and the likes. Try HDUTEAM if you are purchasing Sensecap directly through the Seed store, when and if that ever happens, and also try it through the IoT store. Sam has said that he is going to set it up for me. It's just not set up at this point right now, so I can't confirm that it will work. So there we go. There's about discount codes. Whilst everybody is very eager to get their hotspots, and guys, I can promise you that I am absolutely no different to anybody else. I am so freaking eager. I have spent thousands of dollars on antenna masts, on antennas. I've got boxes. I've got power over Ethernet splitters. I've run cables through my house. Guys, I'm not just doing this as a hobby. This is actually something that I'm taking really serious. So I'm just as eager as the rest of you to actually get my hotspots here. And I want us all, because if I get mine and you don't get yours, well, mine's worth absolutely nothing to me. So whether we like it or not, we've got to acknowledge that we are a very small market compared to the US and Europe. We're always going to play third, as much as that's really frustrating, and I wish it wasn't the case. And in our social media channels, frustrations, I have noticed at various times have run hot. People get a little bit antsy with one another. Somebody gets a bit of information from here, they share it there. They share it here, it gets moved, it gets put over there. And next thing you know, and I'm not suggesting don't do that, guys. Share information freely. Just recognize that always question the information that you're getting, and not in an aggressive way. Guys, let's try and all be in this together. Social media is a pretty rugged place at the best of times. Let's try and recognize that we're all in this together down here. We're all facing exactly the same challenges. What I can see right now, based on Sensecap, based on Linxdot, and the fact that there is a high probability in between now and December that we will actually receive a number of units from RAC. Hopefully we'll get a number of units from Syncrobit, And guys, I've got to tell you, I've given up on Nebra. I've cancelled all bar one of my hotspots from Nebra, but there have been a number of Nebra units popping up on the map lately. So if you are sticking by your guns with Nebra, hopefully by Christmas there'll be a bunch of those as well. Sit back, drink a coffee, have a scotch, have a beer, do whatever it is that you like to do to relax. And guys, this is going to happen for us. Okay, I think that's about all I've got for you here in this particular video. I'm Helium Down Under. My name's Ian, and I hope that you've got something out of the content. Please hit the like if you have, hit the subscribe if you haven't done from now, and I shall see you on the next Helium Down Under video.